Hi everyone, welcome to Veronika Hug. Today we're doing a house shoe in a patchwork design, and this is going to be in the European size 42 and 43. We already did a video with a smaller size, 36 European size, so this one will be the same thing but in a bigger size with more stitches, of course, so that way you know what the size is, so how you can plan for it. So more stitches and more rows than here. We have 12 stitches and 12 rows for the smaller size for each square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This time we are doing the same, but we are doing 16 stitches, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rows, so a total of 32 with the back rows included. And then we do one square in one color and one in the other. So the color is up to you. You can do it all the same if you'd like. So I changed them a bit and I have a total of 6 here. And then on the one side, I'll show you, I'll add one more to the last square. And here on the bottom, onto the second square from the bottom, we do another additional square. And I'll show you how to put it all together as well. So for today I used the hatnut XL55 and the hatnut fresh, 200 grams of each or 7 ounces of each. I also used my needle size 5 millimeters to make it a bit more compact and tight. Since this is going to be a shoe, it should stay on the foot as you wear it, so make sure you take just a tiny bit smaller needle than what you usually would. So let's start with 12 stitches. And we are doing the garter stitch. The back row we do by taking the stitch off, the thread goes behind the stitch, and then we cast the stitches off knitwise. Edge stitch as well, then turn and the edge stitch again, just like purl stitch. The thread goes behind and the stitches again we cast off in knit stitch. The edge stitch at the end we always do knitwise. Then we turn and cast the beginning edge stitch off and put the thread behind. And you do this row by row. I prepared this a bit to save us some time. So we do row by row. This is the right side here, and we work them till we have 12 of these ribs, so that we get a nice square and garter stitch. So you're actually doing the number of stitches but doubled, because the back row that you need to do to get this rib pattern doesn't really count, or you can count it doubled. And I do a total of 6 squares like this. 3 brown ones and 3 beige ones. I have here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 ribs. So we can now take the edge stitch off and continue just like before and cast the stitches off. Cut the thread off and pull the thread through. I'm leaving a bit more than usual because I'll use that to put the shoe together in the end. So now after casting off, I have 6 squares like this, 3 of the one color and 3 of the other. And now on the second square from the bottom, I did one more on the right side. So one more square, and I'll do one more on the last top square and on the other side. So basically you need one on the one and one on the other. So if we had here a square on the right side, we will have here one on the left side. And again, one more square, and I'll also use the brown color here. So let's start the stitches together. We're working with these 12 stitches, and we're going through here and back. Take the thread through, and I'll do it one more time. We get a very nice stitch this way. I did try it out in different methods, and it always ended up making little holes that don't really look nice. So I figured out that this way we actually get a nice compact connection between the squares without anything weird going on. And then finish the square just like we did the others, nothing different in this one. And when you work it this way, you get a really nice edge on the sides. So again, until you have 12 ribs, and then cast the stitches off. So now we finished all the squares, we can get to the connecting. So just a reminder, you should have an additional square on the second bottom right and on the one top left. Now I left the last thread a bit longer so that we can use it for connecting the pieces and putting the shoe together. So now what we want to do is put these edges together. So first step is putting them together like this. The thread is too long, so I'll cut it a bit shorter so I don't have to pull out such a long piece each time I connect 2 stitches. And then push the thread to the inside and weave in. So we have this top section done. And now here I'll also connect these 2 or 4 squares total. So this whole side. Take the edge stitch, So I have 2 squares that I'm doing in just 1 step, or 4 total actually. So I always start from the right side because then I can see how it's developing as I work it. And this method actually builds a nice edge without anything weird going on or any holes or something like that happening. Plus the stitch stays on the inside so the outside looks nice and neat. And go with the thread to the inside one last time and weave in. So this was our 6th square, and we basically closed off or connected this whole stitch here, and now we will connect this corner as well. And finally this here. So just to make it clear, this was square 6 and then the square 5. And those two we are putting together now. And here we are again working on the right side. So now we close this section together again, and now we need to connect this side. So this is our square 6 and this is square 4. And we are connecting those two. I will weave the brown thread in because I'm doing 2 base squares, so I'm going to connect them in the same color too. So we have 1 stitch per row, so it's actually pretty simple to do. Take the thread through 1 rib at a time and connect through each row as you wish. And weave in on the inside again. And now that this is done, the point of the shoe, this side needs to be put together, and then finally this here. So since I have the end thread here, I'll cut it a bit shorter and I'll start on the top with the connecting so that I can do both sides with the same thread, one after another. That way I actually have one less thread to weave in the end. So as you might have noticed, we started from the corner. So we are now in the corner and we can clearly see we need to do what we need to do next. And this will be the last side that we connect. So we are now connecting row with row, so through the ribs always, which is super easy. And again, thread to the inside and weave in. I have a couple of more threads to weave in from the squares, so I have to do those as well. You actually could have done them at the beginning as you finished each one, but I never actually do that with such projects because I can often use those for connecting the squares later. So I rather leave them for the end. So here is our shoe finally. I put the corners like this, and all in all, we are done for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Bye!